Hey, it's T. Today we're talking about something every gardener wonders about at some point. How much does it actually cost to fill a raised garden bed? If you've been thinking about adding raised beds to your backyard, this video is going to answer that question. So whether you're building your first bed or adding a few more like we did, I hope that this video gives you a clear picture of what to expect. We all know that filling raised beds strictly with soil can cost a small fortune. That's why we take a layered approach in filling beds at our home. The first layer is the least expensive, and that's because it's free. We source free wood chips on Facebook Marketplace. They're easy to find, and so far the people who've offered it have been awesome. In this case, it looks like the homeowner received a delivery from Chip Drop. If you've never heard of Chip Drop, it's a service that connects arborists and tree companies with gardeners who actually want the wood chips. The company's services allow arborists and tree companies to keep wood chips out of the landfill and deliver them to alternative drop sites. Recipients who sign up for deliveries never know how much will be delivered, and once they use what they need, they offer the rest to the public. I truly appreciate recipients who spread the word and allow others to benefit from their deliveries. One thing that I want to note is that filling our bins can get pretty messy as the chips fall from the shovels. We try to leave a space the way that we found it, or even better, and on that note, I recommend bringing a broom so that you can tidy the area where you dropped some of the wood chips. As you can see, we forgot to bring a broom, but we're using our resources to leave the homeowner's driveway in good condition. By the way, I always express my gratitude directly to the homeowners. In addition, I leave a good review on Facebook Marketplace. We ended up filling a total of 6 bins. Now that we're back at home, it's time to unload the bins and get ready to add the wood chips to the raised garden beds. But before we fill the beds, we're going to put down some cardboard as a weed barrier. Now it's time to add the wood chips. The next layer is mulch. When we filled the other 4 garden beds last year, we took the same layered approach, but the mulch that we used was delivered. We purchased 6 cubic yards then because we wanted to have enough for the raised beds and for landscaping around the house. This time we have 2 raised beds to fill, and since we did not schedule a mulch delivery, we purchased a total of 8 bags from Home Depot. Each 2 cubic foot bag was $4.87, so altogether we spent $38.96 on mulch. We have moved on to the next layer, which is raised garden bed soil. We purchased 8 bags containing 1.5 cubic feet of soil at a price of $9.97 per bag. That brings our total spent on raised garden bed soil to $79.76. The final layer of the garden beds is manure. We purchased 4 bags containing 1 cubic foot of manure at a price of $6.47 per bag, making our total spent on manure $25.88. You may have already figured out that the total is $144.60. However, that is not the full story because we did not pay that price. We received a special discount at purchase. I'll talk about that later in the video. The 4 raised garden beds that we had last year and the 2 that we added this year are all the same brand and dimensions. They are 6 feet by 3 feet by 2 feet. The depth was the most important factor for me because it makes the raised beds more accessible, allowing me to maintain them properly. Back to the discount that I mentioned earlier. Both Home Depot and Lowe's offer a 10% military discount to active duty service members, veterans, and their spouses. While Home Depot caps the discount at $400 in annual savings, Lowe's has no spending maximum. Including the veteran discount, our total went down from $144.60 to $130.08 before taxes. After taxes, the total was $140.23. Now dividing that evenly between 2 6 by 3 by 2 raised garden beds, we spent $70.12 on filling each bed. Before we get back to the other 2 beds where I want to do one final thing, let's head over to see what the other beds are producing. The first 2 beds that I'm going to show you are established tomato beds where I'm growing several varieties of cherry and slicer tomatoes as well as Roma and Amish paste. My goal is to have enough for snacking and salads, but also for canning salsa and tomato sauce. Every plant in the first bed that I'm showing you is from a couple of local farmers, but the second tomato bed has a combination of tomatoes from those 2 sources as well as what I grew from seed. This year we decided to trellis our tomatoes because last year's crop was wild with branches hanging over into the grass, so we addressed that issue this year with string trellising. This video was taken 3 weeks ago and the plants are much larger now. I'll insert footage at the end of the video so that you can see what the garden looks like by the end of the second week in July. If you saw the video where I transplanted our first seedlings of the season, and if you look closely at what we have now, you may have noticed that we upgraded our irrigation system. Since we knew that we would be adding 2 more raised garden beds and another green stalk, we needed to increase the water flow to those new planters so that when the water finally reached them, it would flow as much as we needed. This is the 3rd raised bed and I'm growing melons, cucumbers, and squash here. This bed is a lot more established now and is even starting to bear fruit. We have made it over to the 4th bed. This one contains green beans, bell peppers, and even a cabbage seedling that I rescued a few weeks ago. The green beans are growing wildly, so we're building a trellis so that they can stay contained in the garden bed. As you can see here, the green beans are already threatening the bell peppers in this bed, which is why trellising them upward is critical. back over to the 2 new beds. I'm going to water them well to get them ready for transplants. I did not record transplant day, but I do have footage of what the plants look like now. It is 3 weeks later, and I wanted to show you the progress of all 6 raised beds. 2 of the 3 tomato beds have exploded. There are a couple of prolific growers, and I'm excitedly awaiting the blushing stage so that I can harvest them and let them ripen in the kitchen before pests and wildlife get to them. We have a large population of squirrels that live under our shed, and since we have a bird feeder, we attract more birds than what would normally be back here. You may have noticed that I need to manicure most of the tomato plants. I manicured half of one bed, but there's a lot more work that needs to be done. This bed is the one with a couple of melons, cucumbers, and squash. As you can see, it's growing nicely. In a moment, I'll show you a few cucumbers that just appeared. The growth in this bed is getting to a point of being unmanageable, so we have to build a trellis before that happens. This bed shows how much the bell peppers and green beans have grown. There's also cabbage growing in this bed, so stay tuned for the updated footage of that because something interesting has happened. Here is the update on the cabbage. The footage on the left was taken just 5 days before the footage on the right. Now on to the 2 newest beds. The first one has bell peppers, melons, marigold, and radishes. The marigolds will protect the bell peppers and cantaloupe. Above ground, they will release a strong compound that masks the scent of vegetables, and that scent confuses whiteflies and aphids. The roots of the marigolds release a chemical that destroys nematodes. The radishes act as a sacrificial crop by leading flea beetles and cucumber beetles away from cantaloupe, protecting their vines. The last bed is the 3rd one that is solely dedicated to tomatoes. All of the taller plants are Roma tomatoes. The smaller ones are radishes. During one of the hottest weeks that we've had this year, the plants struggled. This was also during a period in which my husband was updating the irrigation system. I have no doubt that these tomato seedlings will catch up because we experienced the same thing last year. Well, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons to see more content like this in the future. Stay blessed and happy homesteading.